who gets the game underway. Well, if you're looking for experience, that man has bags of it. 3 NRL Grand Finals, a New Zealand International. Appeared in finals with the Eels, the Warriors and the Bulldogs. He was a World Cup winner in 2008 with New Zealand. And this game is underway and Widnes have moved up. And they're trying to stop Halifax's go forward, and of course it's the first 20 minutes that are important. And if Halifax are hanging for the first 20 minutes, Scott Morrell gets away a deep kick which Patrick Arvan goes back for. Another man with a lot of experience in this game, Patrick Arvan, takes the ball forward. Chester Butler keeps hold of one arm until 3 of his teammates come in to complete the tackle. And Widnes will drive it away from their own line. Owen Bucklet well to take it over halfway. Widnes threatening. Gareth Ewer, the referee, sticks his hand in the air to indicate the last tackle. Ben Kay rushes out to spoil the kick, and Halifax across quickly with Morrell to make the tackle, but they've created an overlap but decided to kick through, and it's Will Sharp who scored a memorable try in a friendly match at the start of last season. And Halifax get the first penalty. And a relieving penalty takes them out of their own quarter. We look at the Widnes side this afternoon, more about the people that are actually missing. There's at least 10 people who will be considered for first team duty not wearing the black and white of Widnes this afternoon. Ben Kay goes away from acting half, and Chris Houston loses contact, but Lloyd White makes the tackle. Tangata driving it forward, gets over halfway for Halifax. And Widnes fullback Joe Mellor almost back on his own 10-metre line as Fleming drive it forward. Gareth Ewer again signals the last tackle. Morrell with a kick inside, Johnson's chasing it, and the bounce could be awkward. Well, it is awkward, it's come off the bar, and former Widnes favourite Shane Grady has touched down for Halifax under the black dot. Well, I think Gareth Ewer checking for the offside there. Gareth Hicks is today's video referee, but there didn't seem anything wrong with it. It was a crossfield kick back inside. Ben Kay wearing half a shirt from that last attempted tackle from Chris Houston will need a replacement. Well, there was a lot of kicking practice with ball out of hand prior to the kick-off of this game by a number of Halifax players, including Scott Morrell and Harrison Hansen, who moved here from Leigh after they a bubble burst at the Leigh Sports Village. Is giving out the instructions. Well, you look at people like we're looking at Hansen and Kristen Inu to show the leadership qualities this afternoon, but no leadership qualities needed there. It was just about the way the ball bounced, and it bounced into the hands of Shane Grady. And Gareth Ewer indicating no try, and a penalty. Shane Grady with the ball in his hand was expected to be taking the conversion, and the Halifax players have all come back into the Widnes half of the field because they'd all retreated back into their own half, expecting that Shane Grady would be posting the first 2 points to Halifax's try, but it wasn't to be. So Runciman gives the ball to Harrison Hansen, who gets it up to the 30-metre line. Big forwards being used as battering rams to try and break down this Halifax defence. McGrath Lulalite, another seasoned professional from a talented family with Thomas, Kyle, a few others, all wearing English colours, or the club colours of English clubs in recent years. Chester Butler trying to run off an injury there. He's got heavy strapping on the left wrist. Ball goes away and down the middle goes Charlie Gubb. Released by the Canberra Raiders, former New Zealand Warriors player. And the kick is from Joe Lyons. Will Sharp comes for it. There's a collision in the air. The referee waves play on, and Ben Johnson tries to bring it back, and there's a collision there, I think, between 2 Widnes players. I'm sure it was that came off worst. It looks like Lloyd White got the worst of that one, coming off his own teammate. Saltonstall in off the wing. 2 tries last week in the defeat at Old KR. Fairbank driving it forward, needs a third man in to make sure Fairbank goes to ground. Houston, the last man up from the tackle. Morrell turns it back inside, and Will Sharp bounces off one. Well, he's managed to get back up again, couldn't get the pass away, looking for space out wide where there was support from Grady Heaton and Saltonstall, but couldn't get the pass away. Halifax looking for the advantage. Grady cuts inside. Well, looking at the stats for Widnes this season, the number of missed tackles off the Widnes side has been quite appalling, really, and showing there as first Will Sharp and then Shane Grady went through the tackle, or attempted tackles of the Widnes defence. Scrum will set as the 30-metre line, and Scott Morrell trying to indicate to Gareth Hewitt that there was a play made by a Widnes defender there, but obviously not. Bouncing off the Widnes player into touch, and Patrick Arvant, the big South Sea Island winger, takes the ball up, and the penalty is awarded to Widnes. Not getting up off the ball quickly enough. Liam Finn will always make meters with the kicks for touch. Has been in a long career. It's about 17 years now for Liam Finn since his career began. And Charlie Gubb up the middle after 3 passes inside along the line. Options either side. Widnes trying to put the play on and get it out. Halifax tracking back, taking down Runciman. Brandon season as Runciman. He's only had 4 tries this season. Last season I think he was certainly in double figures, might even have got to 20 last season. Here's a first real chance for Widnes with Finn. Look for the pass from Finn to cause problems, almost did, but Halifax got back 8 metres out from their own line. Finn's moved into acting half. Houston drives the ball forward from a Newcastle Knights man. St George and Illawarra as well. Halifax, desperate defence on their own line, goal line defence intact for Halifax as they make the tackle. I think that was Runciman, who was almost there. Halifax struggling to bring the ball out as Fleming offloads and into the in-goal area, and that really could be a problem for Halifax. Well, I'm not sure it was an attempt to pass or a loose carry from Dan Fleming, but it put pressure on Ben Johnson, unable to bring the ball back into play. And Halifax will be dropping out under their own post, with Gareth Ewer has stopped the clock. Morell's kick. That's a good bounce, but Houston takes the pass. Howson takes the pass from Joe Lyons. Lloyd White moves into acting half, gets the pass away to McGrath Lulite. Well, Joe Lyons may not be the most experienced player on this WIDNES side making his debut, but it's one of those unknown quantities that you have to contend with. He's probably going to be led around by Liam Finn, and Liam Finn's got the pass away, and the first try is going to come to the WIDNES Vikings. And Liam Finn involved in the pass across the field, across the face of the Halifax defence. And it all came by that, from that error from Dan Fleming. And Wella Harake. Another man with bags of experience with Parramatta, Leeds and Castleford. Well, Halifax were not in the best position, but they had the ball in hand and tried to run it out. And surrender to a first try from a strong run from Harake, linking into the line, the second rower. And something for the moment anyway for the WIDNES followers to cheer about. But it was, well, if you were going to put the try assist down to anybody, it'd be Halifax for making the error in the first place. So they must pick themselves up and get over that. And try and hit back. Having already scored one try of their own and had it chalked off by the referee. The WIDNES have made Halifax pay for the errors. Against Championship clubs you may be able to get away with one or two errors, but Super League clubs are a different proposition. And even their end of Super League status with WIDNES being at the bottom of the pile, they're still a full-time team. They'll still have that advantage. Of that full-time environment. And Inu has made it WIDNES 6, Halifax 0. Underneath it Lions 2, Charlie Gubb, and Charlie Gubb is knocked back with a big tackle, big contact incident from Tangata, but then Fleming charging in as well. Here's Harake again, looking to make metres. Howson gets the ball away to Harrison Hansen. Harrison Hansen, always a handful, always 100% commitment as Lloyd White goes forward. And WIDNES almost up to halfway, and they will be now with a charge from McGrath Lulite. But it's the last tackle, so they'll look back to Finn for the kick. And Liam Finn, who will look to put pressure on Woodburn Hall on the outside, but Will Sharp has come in for it, has he? And dropped the ball, another knock on, another chance for WIDNES to punish an Halifax error. Well, maybe lack of experience from Woodburn Hall, but having said that, both Will Sharp and Woodburn Hall, fairly accomplished fullbacks. Both thought they'd a right to the ball length, but I think Woodburn Hall pulled away a bit too late and Will Sharp was under pressure. Oh, Widnes going across field again, getting the ball away. Kristen Inu brought down 10 metres out, but Halifax with work to do with Widnes with tackles in the bag. Charlie Gubb again gets flattened, and it's Fleming, the second man in around the top, that knocks him down. Lloyd White gets the ball away. Liam Finn does so too, and Halifax almost on their own goal line, and desperate defence from the men in blue and white. Another short charge to the line from Chris Houston, and Gubb, as he got the ball, gets the ball out, drops it onto the floor. Widnes still have options out wide, do they? Can Halifax move across? Well, they managed to get to Inu, and Inu has shown immense strength to force his way over the line for Widnes' second try. Well, Halifax just had no answer then to the power of the New Zealand centre. Christian Inu showing great strength there to force his way over for Widnes' second try. And it's another mistake that's allowed Widnes the opportunity to post 4 points. The spilled ball from the kick. Widnes in for the second, although they were desperate to keep the ball alive near the goal line. Gubb went close, so did Houston, but they managed to get the ball out somehow and move it out wide, and Halifax had been drawn into the middle trying to stop the big Widnes forwards, and were lacking numbers outside and unable to make the one-on-one on Kristen Inu, the New Zealand international former World Cup winner. Shows all his strength and experience to go over for a second try, which he will now try and convert from inches in from the touchline. Widnes looking as though their fate is already sealed, and they will be a championship club next season. I can't see that that will dent Steve O'Connor's hope of keeping a full-time team here at the Halton Stadium, and that Widnes will be hoping that they can go straight back up if they do come down into the championship. Structure change this week, of course, with the promotion and relegation reinstated, but still via an end of season playoff as far as promotion is concerned. But the advantage in that being that you're playing teams that you play throughout the season in the championship, rather than having to try and overcome Super League opposition. The way it's gone for the likes of Liam Featherstone, it'll be interesting to see what kind of teams they're able to put out for next season, after failing to make the top 4 and not having the bonuses that go with it. League have already lost their money man in Derek Beaumont, and a lot of players have jumped ship. Featherstone looking to cut their wage bill as well. Halifax still a part-time club, but I dare say they will still be trying to look after the money that they have from last season. Houston takes it after 3 passes across the goal line, try line. Lloyd White is caught 25 metres out. Halifax still looking for a first real opportunity since Shane Grady was denied. Ball moved out wide, and Harake is tackled. A tackle from Ben Heaton. Howson gets the pass away to Charlie Gubb. driving the ball forward up to halfway, but it's the last tackle, and Gubb rolling about, I think, trying to play for the penalty. Finn gets his kick away, looking for another error, and this time the ball is left for Will Sharp. Gets away from the first and the second and the third, and gets back to the 30-metre line, gets up and plays it quickly. Woodburn Hall backing up from the wing, coming inside and taking Halifax towards halfway. Ben Johnson rather threw the dummy and got clattered just inside the Widnes half by Chris Houston as Saltonstall takes it up to the Widnes 40-metre line. Fairbank driving it forward. Last tackle, Halifax 29 metres out from the Widnes line. Will it be a crossfield kick from Morell? Well, it'll be a high in the sky kick, which won't cause too many problems for the winger Owen Buckley. And Buckley eventually put down. Widnes making a change and bringing on Jay Chapelhow. Can't quite see who's gone off, but Chris and Inu off one-handed offload again. Problems for Halifax. Fooled by the step of the ball carrier, who I think was Lloyd White. Last tackle. That was Mellor, the fullback, who'd stepped into the half-back role. Something he's probably more accustomed to than fullback. Liam Finn gets clattered to the ground with a high tackle. And the Widnes players are in. There's no need for any reaction really, because the play had stopped. The penalty had already been blown. And Gareth, you were in just to try and calm things down. Well, Liam Finn, to his credit, has got back onto his feet. Not sure that's just quite as... It looked worse than it actually was, I think, the way Finn went down. But it does give an opportunity, if they take it, for Widnes to get the two that Inu missed from the touchline. But he's moved back out into the centre, so it looks like the power plays the call from Francis Cummings and the coaching staff to try and increase the lead again. Widnes supporter becoming impatient. The strappings applied to the knee of Adam Tangata. Not sure we're that impatient if he's one of their own that was being strapped up, but nature of rugby league supporters, I suppose. Well, another opportunity. Runciman plays the ball inside to Finn, to Mellor, again linking up into the line at full back. And a positive drive. Lloyd White gets the ball away, and Houston looking for his first try of the season, and still looking after Halifax defence put him down a metre away from the line. And they're queuing up, are they, to score? There's a strong run again, but Halifax are there on the goal line, desperate not to concede another try. The ball back inside. Well, Widnes supporters cheering, but no try given. Widnes putting the move on. Finn over the top, and that will be a no try. Owen Buckley thought his arms were long enough to reach out and get the ball down, but they were about 18 inches short there as he bounced the ball down. That's a let off for Halifax, who did put in some great defensive efforts there as Widnes tried everything to get over the Halifax line for a third try. Halifax Desperately hanging on with about half an hour gone in the first half. Only trailing by 10 points to 0, so still well within reach. If Halifax could just get the ball into the Widnes quarter of the field and create something. Will Sharp to Saltonstall, who gets through the first line of defence, and then he's stopped by Chris Houston initially, joined by a couple of teammates. Ben Kate goes on a solo forage into the Widnes defence. Will Marr takes the ball from Morrell. Widnes struggle to put him down. It's the last tackle. Halifax is still a fair way out from the line. It's another towering kick from Morrell, but no pressure on Mellor, the fullback, until he gets the ball and then tries to go around the outside of the Halifax defence, who will get him 15 metres out from the Widnes line. Buckley moves into acting half, and Tom Albison is on for Widnes. He carries it 10 metres. Runciman, another Australian in this Widnes side. Played with the Dragons and the Panthers. He's a junior Kangaroo and a under 20 New South Wales rep player. But Halifax have an opportunity now to create something. Widnes error. 30 metres out from their own line. Just out a couple of metres from the uprights. Have Halifax got something in their bag of tricks to create an opening and get the first points? Ben Heaton will drive the ball forward, and Ben Heaton putting the defence to work, and that's a great run by Ben Heaton. Harake having all sorts of trouble dealing with him as Fairbank takes the short ball. Halifax on the 10 metre line. Fairbank still trying to go forward, and Fairbank winning the penalty for Halifax. So they will now get the opportunity to put a bit more pressure on this Widnes line. Scott Morrell looking at options. Will Marr the first one, and he takes it to within 3 metres. Fairbank, good ball out to Johnson. Johnson to Morrell. Morrell looking for support. Finds Woodburnall, who puts the ball down. And Buckley, well, it's set off with the ball, but it's a knock on. And Halifax have another opportunity. Well, being gifted a couple of chances now by the Widnes Vikings. I'm not sure how Halifax are adjusting to the 4G pitch. Different playing surface, very spongy playing surface. Widnes, of course, the advantage of playing and training on this pitch all season. Halifax just that game in at the London Broncos. Woodburnall looking outside, but Saltonstall too far away to pass to. Inu looking at the referee. Shane Grady takes the ball in. Only 3 men round him, failed to put him down. Shane Grady may get the quick play away. Johnson steps inside one, tries to go underneath the second line of defence. Lots of shouting going on in the Widnes defensive line. Will Marr trying to use his size to break through and pushing his way backwards towards the line. There are 4 Widnes defenders around him, and somehow the Widnes defence with Lyons, Albison, Harake and Mellor have managed to hold up Will Marr, who will have to go back 10 metres to play the ball. Tangata steps off the right foot, stopped 8 metres out, last tackle. Morrell out to Chester Butler. Well, Chester Butler likes it in Chester, scored 2 tries against Warrington last season, but not this time. Halifax putting the pressure on, not coming away with the points, but making Widnes turn the ball over 5 metres from their own line. Buckley backwards and drops to the ground. Runciman runs strongly, but the defence is equally effective from Halifax, who actually puts Runciman back, so no metres gained there from the Widnes Vikings. Albison soon plays it on the 20. Lloyd White gets it away to Harrison Hansen, who looked to get the offload away to Runciman there. Looked as though it might have dropped it, but Runciman gets it away. Buckley will cut inside and has beat two men. Last tackle, Widnes on the Halifax 40. Finn gets the ball away. Haraki throws it out wide. Patrick Arvan is the recipient of a pass that's forward. Widnes going for the power play. Had more reward from the kick from Liam Finn, but not on this occasion. Well, turnover on the last tackle. 10 metres inside the Halifax half. Well, maybe a last chance in this first half to Halifax to come up with something. Trailing 10 points to 0. And it looks like Fairbank's taking a knock in the tackle on his way down there. Well, the water bottles on for both sides and the medical staff as well, just checking on the fitness of the players. Still receiving treatment, making sure everything's okay, but Fairbank did take a knock in the ribs on a previous, I think it's Fairbank, or is it Ben Eaton? No, it's Ben Eaton. Fairbank took a knock in the ribs on an earlier play. Tangata again dropping the shoulder and turning inside. Wilmar running off the short pass again. Widnes struggling to put him to ground. It takes 4 to put him down eventually. Halifax still looking for the opening for the first point. Connor Davis on for Halifax. Grady takes the short ball from Johnson, but it's the last tackle. Well, there's a mix-up. Depends where it goes. It's got into Widnes' hands. Halifax hunting in packs, looking for some error perhaps. May give them one more chance, but time running out in this first half. Widnes replacement on is Danny Walker. Smothering defence from Halifax, trying to keep Widnes as close to their own line as they can. And that's a good set defensively for Halifax. This time Finn will kick off the outside of the foot and Will Sharp will go across to collect it. Can Sharp find any? Well, he doesn't usually look for space, doesn't Will Sharp, to be fair. He'd rather try and run through the man than round him. Not find a gap on that occasion. Neither is Saltonstall. Richard Marshall looking to get Sean Jones on before the half-time arrives in a couple of minutes. Brandon Moore on as well for Halifax. Takes it over halfway. Wilmar charging it up into 4 defenders again. Well, it makes the defence work, and Morel kicks into touch. It makes you wonder what would happen if Will Mark could draw those 4 defenders in and just get a bit of an offload away. Runciman running the ball up, Halifax lining up defensively across the field. Buckley, well, seems to be growing a bit with confidence. Buckley, every time he touches the ball, seems to make metres. And a quick blow the whistle there against Chester Butler. Widnes given a second penalty, a very low penalty count, and it may be the Widnes in fact who are going to turn these last few minutes play to their advantage with another kick downfield from Finn, which has put them in a promising position. A good tackle, good marking from Ben Heaton, but Halifax need to be alert to the other challenges that they're facing these last few tackles out of this set. Liam Finn waits, receives the ball, gets his pass away, and there's another pass forward which Halifax I think are claiming may have been a knock on, but the referee says the ball collected before it hit the ground. Last tackle, Halifax need to be alert from acting half and managed to defend the line again. A long way to go to the other end of the field, but it remains at 10 points to 0. Richard Marsh will be pleased with that scoreline so far, considering I think the field possession that Widnes have had throughout this game. Halifax certainly been starved of opportunities in the Widnes quarter of the field, apart from that early one which was cancelled out on the decision of the video referee. Grady taking it forward. Will Sharp taking it forward, sorry. Will Mark again collecting Widnes defenders with each metre that he made. Last tackle, back to Morel again, spiralling kick, nobody to put pressure on Mellor again, so he takes the ball comfortably, and then he's caught by Brandon Moore and Ben Johnson and Shane Grady. And Buckley's drifting across the field, but Chris Ninu has not been allowed to pass the ball away. Halifax defence smothering all over him. And Gareth Hewitt will send Inu back the 3 metres he walked forward before he played the ball, and Runciman is tackled just inside the Widnes 40. Harrison Hansen looks for the pass, quick hands, ball has gone to ground, and the referee has said it's gone backwards, which Buckley is looking to take advantage of again. Chappell out. Spent time up at Whitehaven, Chappell out with his brother. That one looks as though it's going out on the full, and is. So a turnover a long way out from the Widnes line, 12 metres inside the Halifax half, and Saltonstall looking for the quick advantage there, but not finding any. Grady inside to Johnson, Johnson to Sean Jones, who never really got up to full speed there before he met the Widnes defence. Fairbank cops a high one. Referee's seen it. Got a few what it was. Halifax a third penalty of the first half, but time running out rapidly, so Morell quick to get the ball into touch. Saltonstall, I think, wanted to go there, but Carrathy were waiting for the ball. Second ball will be taken from the field. Fairbank to within 18 metres. Can Halifax come away with something before half time? Morell out wide to Chester Butler, who does well to keep hold of it after it bounced off his chest, but then being forced towards the touchline. Will Sharp helping him stay in the field of play. And another penalty for Halifax, but they need to get on with it quickly. Woodburn Hall puts into touch, which seems strange from there because it's only gone back 1 metre. So Woodburn Hall to Morell to Sean Jones. Sean Jones being bundled to the ground by 4 defenders. That's where Halifax need the quick play to try and get the advantage on the outside as Morell tries to go on his own. Again, there's a lot of screaming in the Widnes defence. Grady looking for the line, brought down 1 metre away. And it would be a real shot in the arm for Halifax if they could pull something up before half time. Will Marr drives it forward. Halifax have options out wide. Johnson goes on his own. Perhaps a wrong option that. There was a 4 against 3. Far side. Morell turns it back inside to Woodburn Hall, and Woodburn Hall crashes over from the inside pass from Morell. Well, it's taken a long time in coming. It's nearly got to the end of the first half, but Halifax have finally created the opportunity and posted the first 4 points of the afternoon, courtesy of Woodburn Hall's well-timed run to the inside pass of Scott Morell. Crashing over and touching the ball down. Well, it's going to put some doubt in the minds of the Widnes players in this, I'm sure, after dominating for most of the game. They now find themselves only 6 points in front. Shane Grady converted over 100 goals for the Widnes Vikings. But I think when he played here, it was still grass on the field. On the notorious slope into the corner that used to be in the old stadium before the redevelopment. Always a mud bath, as I remember. Well, Shane Grady, in the absence of Steve Tyrer, well, it's not the most efficient of kicks, the ball spiralling end over end sideways, but it does go over, and Halifax are right back in this game approaching half time. Widnes 6, Halifax, Widnes 10, Halifax 6. And that will give Halifax some renewed vigour. Kick from Inu, long and high. Woodburn Hall almost fumbles it. Will Marr is given the job of trying to take the ball away from the Halifax line, which he struggles to do again with a posse of defenders around him. Saltonstall tries to catch the Widnes defence, takes it just over the 20 metre line, and the ball comes loose, and Halifax will get another penalty. Well, they seem to be going a long time in this first half. But the longer they go with Halifax with the ball, they'll look at another opportunity. As the clock ticks down with Morrell giving it to Chester Butler, and Butler tackled by Liam Finn. Morrell gives the ball inside to Sean Jones. And Brandon Moore away from acting half and just caught by Chappell out with assistance from 3 of his teammates. Fairbank out to Morrell. It's not the best of passes, but Jones has another go at the Widnes defence. Last tackle. Kick to the in-goal area from Morrell, maybe. And the chase will mean that the Vikings will be forced to drop out under the post. Well, they won't be. Brandon Moore shrugs off 2 tacklers, still going forward. Brandon Moore looking for a gap, then finding more Widnes defenders. Morrell to Johnson. Johnson out to Ben Heaton. Ben Heaton will take on Inu, and Inu needs assistance from his teammates, and the ball eventually squirmed out of Ben Heaton's grip and out of play. Well, finally the hooter sounds for the end of the first half. That doesn't look like a possibility. And interestingly enough, Halifax had 51 to 49% of the possession in the first half, and their completion rate was better than their opposition, so they'll be looking for more of that in the second half. And if they can play and match the skill levels from the second half last week, then Halifax will surely be in with a chance of causing an upset in this match. But Widnes from the first set of 6 have taken it into the Halifax half and almost up to the Halifax 40. So with tackles in the bag, Harrison Hansen Brought down 32 metres out. Halifax looking to defend Finn's bomb, and it comes off the head of the WIDNES player, which will be classed as a knock-on. Owen Buckley was first to the ball there. It was unfortunate it came down on his head. There was more pressure put on by WIDNES then than Halifax did with Morell's kick at the end of the first half, but now they've to take the ball 90 metres to the other end of the field. WIDNES are going to do their best to try and make sure that doesn't happen, but Jim Saltonstall doing his best to get every metre out of the run. Brandon Moore ducks under the markers. Brandon Moore to Jacob Fairbank, who's upended and dumped on his back. Centre field, 45 metres out from the Halifax line. Ben Johnson gives it to Shane Grady, and that's a good tackle on Grady. Johnson looks for the touchline with a kick, and it looks like he might find it as well. That's a great little kick by Johnson to put WIDNES all the way back on their own 10 metre line for the scrum. In front of the Halifax supporters in the west stand. A small but vociferous following for Halifax as they look for some error from WIDNES as they try to bring the ball away from their own line after that excellent kick from Johnson. Halifax knew what WIDNES had from the first set of 6 when they carried the ball 3/4 of the length of the field before it bounced off Buckley's head, and they know that WIDNES are going to come out and throw everything they can at Halifax. Well, Halifax with nothing to lose. Ball comes loose. That'll be it's a penalty, says referee Gareth Ewart. Well, WIDNES will take everything they can get in this game now. Looking fresh and aggressive in the first 2 sets of 6. Another Halifax indiscretion give them the opportunity to put more points on the board as Albison drives it up to the 10 metre line. Fairbank drags it to ground after he stopped by Davis and Marr. WIDNES looking to move it out. Inside comes Inu. Inu stopped. Halifax defending close to the line in numbers. 5 defenders around the ball carrier. And Gareth Ewart has given another penalty to WIDNES. Well, that's for offside. It's difficult to be offside when the ball's only 2 metres away from the line as Harrison Hansen drives it in. One of the most decorated players in England. In the English game, not only just in the WIDNES side, as Finn gets it round the back, ball goes loose, mistake by WIDNES. Well, the rain starts to fall, and that might be why the handling conditions have come a little difficult. Well, they'll refer back to full-time players. Well, it's teaming down now as the people in the front seats quickly head for the shelter of the higher seating further back. And Sean Jones tries to give his followers at the far end of the field a closer view of the Halifax team as they try to take the ball away from their own line. Will Marr gets it to the 30, Brandon Moore to Connor Davis. And Davies hits over the 40-metre line. Morrell opts for another kick to try and put pressure, but well taken by Mellor. It was bobbling about in the wind, of which there is a fair breeze blowing across the Halton Stadium. No trouble for Mellor though, but hunted down by the Halifax defence, who have numbers in again to tackle the ball carrier. Harrison Hansen, and certainly will be relied upon for his experience and leadership. Goes Haraki actually, not like Hansen, well Haraki as well. With a long number of years in the game, looking towards his qualities. And again Liam Finn, ball out wide. Halifax could be struggling here as Mellor goes back towards the post and just tries one run too many as Halifax get back to make the tackle. Last tackle of this set of 6, and Halifax will be desperate to keep the line intact again. It's a little chip in behind which Salton Sall Fields diffuses the threat. Tackle 5 metres out. Will Sharp. Well, Will Sharp has posed a threat in the first half, carrying the ball back from the kicks that he took successfully, but in close contact a little bit more difficult to get away from the line. Woodburn Hall having a good stab at it though. And Jacob Fairbank to be replaced by Dan Fleming as Salton Sall comes in again for another run, but loses possession to Liam Finn. A quick movement outside to Runciman, and Halifax putting themselves under pressure. Well, a time for cool heads, but Halifax running out of options, and they may be running out of them here as Patrick Arvan is left free on the left hand side. Gareth Hewer goes over the top of Will Sharp, but it's another Halifax mistake which allows Widnes in. Scott Morrell is being called over by Gareth Hewer. And there's something being put on report there by Gareth Hewer. I wonder if the collision with Will Sharp had something to do with that. Well, not exactly a hammer blow to Halifax, but a dent in the hopes of causing an upset at Widnes. And again, it's ball security and ball retention. Although Halifax's completion rate was better than Widnes in the first half, it's what you do with the ball when you've got it. And Widnes posted another try. Third of the afternoon. Christian Inu has been left with another kick from the touch line. Only kicked one so far. They've not been easy ones. Well, there's an early attempt in the first half, looked to be towering from the touch line. It didn't hit the target. It was against the wind a little bit with this one. He does get it, it just gives Widnes that 10-point lead back. He's given it a good shot, and this time Inu has managed to put the ball over. Christian Inu restores the 10-point lead that Widnes had for a long period of that first half. And Morrell restarts. Mellor underneath it. It to Houston. Houston tackle 17 metres out. Albison. Good carry forward up to the 30. It's giving the Widnes a bit of shot in the arm as that try. Runciman takes a short pass off Finn. That's the 40 metre line. Finn again pops it up for Chris Houston, and he's put down on halfway. And the ball has gone loose again and out of play. Runciman trying to get it away to Buckley. Interestingly, Buckley there slipping on the surface, which you wouldn't have expected on 4G, but again the rain may be playing its part in that as well. Halifax have a scrum. Again, it's a long way from the Widnes try line, still in their own half. Ben Heaton. Tackle Brandon Moore. Dan Fleming trying to barge his way through that front line Widnes defence. Brandon Moore to the left hand side finds Will Mart. Mobbed again by the Widnes numbers. Morell gets the pass away. Halifax edging the way forward towards that Widnes line. Johnson gets it away to Woodburn Hall. There's a Widnes man, I think it's a Halifax man, it's left on the floor. Scott Morello gets up as the whistle is blown by Gareth Ewer for a Halifax penalty. Morell taken off the ball. Halifax need to make the most of this opportunity. Well, Morell takes a quick tap and gives it to Fleming. Fleming to the 20 metre line. Brandon Moore comes up quick from acting half to Grady, and Grady towards the line and brought down 5 metres away. Widnes supporters thought it was forward. Johnson goes on his own. Johnson steps round one. Can't get under the second and third tackler. Brandon Moore across the defence gets it to Morell, who, well, it bobbled in his arm. It allowed the Widnes defence to move up and take the Halifax captain down 15 metres out. Brandon Moore again, give it to Will Mart. Into the defence, last tackle. Halifax looking for a way to break through this defence. Johnson to Grady. Grady gets it away to Heaton. And Halifax are held out. Widnes defending the line strongly. Halifax finishing the set probably in the best position they could be. As Charlie Grubb comes back on. Francis coming making his couple of changes early in the second half. And the Widnes supporters calling for the offside there, suggesting Halifax work back the full 10. Widnes, it's up to the 30 metre line. Finn gets the pass away to Houston. Taken down still in the Widnes half. Oh, what a tackle. Thunderous tackle from Connor Davies. And the kick down to cause problems. Will Sharp will use his feet to make sure it stops and picks up safely. Give it to Saltonstall. Widnes try to drag him back towards his own line. Struggling to get away from their own line. Chester Butler having to go on his own. Will Sharp trying to go through the middle. Saltonstall up quickly from acting half, around 2. And Saltonstall still going, just lacking a bit of support there. Johnson gets it away, but heavy traffic down the middle. Perhaps Saltonstall showing options of what might be as kick through. Will it cause problems? It comes back off a Widnes hand, but it looks like it hit Halifax first, according to Gareth Ewer, but not in agreement. The Halifax supporters at the far end. Halifax looking for a bit more adventure there with a kick over the top to cause problems, and it almost did. Widnes will be happy to get the decision. Well, it's a moment, a reversal of the score that Widnes Vikings had against the Leeds Rhinos last week at 16-6. And despite their lowly position, they have put some of the top teams in the competition to close games this season. They began these playoffs with a game against the London Broncos when they led 10-0 and finished up losing, so there's still hope for Halifax yet. They were 10 points down, but are finding it difficult to create or get the ball with plenty of tackles in hand in the Widnes quarter of the field, which will really help their cause. But again, Halifax struggling to handle Joe Mellor, who's coming more and more into the game from full-back. Charlie Gubb takes the pass. Adam Tangata lucky to not be penalised there as he looked to flop on Charlie Gubb. Problems again, here goes Mellor. Mellor obviously being told by Francis Cummins to impose himself on the game a bit more. Well, there's a fairly class half-back. Oh, problems here. Saltonstall manages to take it and then goes down. Inu was hunting a try there, and Will Sharp. Oh, big tackle from Patrick Arvan. If it hadn't have been, Charlie Gubb would have got him anyway, I think, the way he sped into that one. Saltonstall's tackled, and this is Halifax's problem now, trying to get the ball away. Ben Kay back on, gives it to Ben Heaton. Will Sharp, big hit on Cooper, but Cooper having no ill effects from Maraki's tackle, and Scott Morrell with a massive kick if he gets the bounce. Oh well, it has, but it's gone to Arvan. Well, it's come back into Halifax hands, has it? Well, it hasn't. Mellor's on another run, and Dan Fleming could be on a walk there with a high tackle. Widnes have a man down, Halifax have a man of their own down, receiving attention. It was Mellor took the ball off and set off on the counter attack, and Fleming catching with a high tackle. Well, discipline not a massive issue, it's a couple of head-high tackles. The penalties are 5-4 in Widnes' favour. Widnes not happy that Dan Fleming is still on the field. Sure, Richard Marshall is, though, wants to keep his full quota of players. Chris Houston to Liam Finn. Finn brings Runciman on the inside, and Runciman, well, should have been tackled earlier. He's put down 20 metres out. McGrath Lulai carries the ball forward 15 metres from the Halifax line. Liam Finn, short ball to Houston, but Houston tackle 3 metres out. Lloyd White to Finn. Finn looks to get it away, and that's surely not going to work for Widnes. Van went over, but the ball going forward off a racket. That's almost a panic play there from Widnes Vikings, not required, with a tap on to Patrick Arvan from Inu. I think Francis Cummins will be pleased with that one. Well, you're alright if you're 20 points in front and there's no danger, but 10 points in front, sign of the desperation perhaps creeping into this Widnes side. Will Sharp takes the ball into a 3-man tackle 15 metres out of the Halifax line, and Ben Kay looking for a penalty, gets the ball away, and Adam Tangata wrestling for meters, gets on, plays it quickly, allowing Ben Kay a run at the defence, bringing in Morrell. Morrell gets it away to Johnson. Johnson shows the ball and gets it to Ben Heaton, and Heaton has to stop and check with the defenders coming across, and they carry Ben Heaton out over the touch line. Well, they're half a chance for Halifax there. Credit the Widnes defence who dragged Heaton out of play. Maybe possibly would have been better continuing his run around and trying to stop and come inside. Scrum needing to go down again, going to Gareth Ewer. Midway through the second half, it's still a 10-point gap. Runciman, well, tried to go around Morrell, but Morrell got back with assistance from Woodburn Hall. And Widnes pouring forward again. Charlie Gubb. With a number 43 on his back, just gives you an indication of the number of players that have been used by Widnes, with Francis Cummins and Dennis Betts this season. Got some of them players coming in after the departure of Dennis Betts. Chris Houston put down, last tackle. Liam Finn goes to the outside, back inside. Inu will get in at the corner with an acrobatic dive. Halifax failing to defuse the kick across. Arvan reaching high and get it back inside to Chris and Inu, who went back round the outside of Arvan, squeezed in at the corner with the ever more familiar acrobatics from the wingers and centres, going in at the corner, giving Widnes a little more breathing space. And that gives them a little bit more breathing space. 20 points to 6. Halifax need 3 scores. And after opening up Hull Kingston Rovers last season with 24 points in the second half, Widnes are not going to give them that opportunity this afternoon. Finally, the WIDNES supporters have something they seem to cheer about, as they think they're this is probably a small step on Super League survival, but I'd like to bet on it's not been a commanding performance. With 20 minutes left, there's nothing to say that this game's over yet, although it's going to be easier for the WIDNES Vikings. Inu again from the touchline. Another one that's found the mark from Christian Inu. Makes it 22 points to 6. Morel restarts with another long kick, and Gubb will run it forward, but put to ground after initial contact with Ben Kay by Dan Fleming. Halifax have tried to make WIDNES work hard for every metre. Third tackle are only out to the 30, but they're still edging forward. Houston manages to offload. Halifax struggling to get back. Ball's kept alive, and again it's a one-handed pass on, and Inu through two defenders and eventually tackled by Grady. And Grady pushing down. Well, surely that will be another conversion attempt from Christian Inu from there, will it? 22-6. 16-point lead. Well, Finn is going to go for the touchline, and again it's another indiscretion by Halifax, which gives WIDNES the advantage. Houston runs it forward. Charlie Gubb will drive it forward and go for the line. He's stopped about 3 metres out. Adam Tangata, the last man up. Finn. Oh, looks out wide, and Owen Buckley is denied the try by a forward pass. Well, it didn't look like it, but touch judge and referee working together, I think there. I think you need a look at the replay on that. Didn't look that bad. Charlie Gubb on the floor, needing attention, or maybe just helping his teammates a bit get a breather. Halifax are on their own 10-metre line again. Wrapping around the boot and the ankle for Charlie Gubb. Time running out for Halifax. There's a Super League time running out for WIDNES, despite this 16-point lead and potential win this afternoon. Well, most of the forwards are in the defensive line at the moment. Howson and Araki dropping out of the scrum as Fleming tries to take it forward. Will Sharp will pick up and go from acting half and gives it to Ben Heaton. But again, the WIDNES defence smothering and efficient as Tangata tries to go through. Ben Okay, up from acting half to Johnson. Johnson to Grady. Grady to Ben Heaton, loses the ball. Well, more errors in the second half than Richard Marshall would have liked, I'm sure. Halifax's efforts throughout this afternoon continually stifled by this WIDNES side. Howson gets it away, Finn sees Mellor linking up from full back. He's got it out to Buckley and Buckley's put it down. Well, it shouldn't have happened, but it did, and Liam Cooper's on for Halifax as they want to get the scrum down for the referee to stop the clock, to try and give themselves some more time to try and chase this 22 points to 6 lead that the WIDNES Vikings hold. And once again on the review it'll find that most of the opposition points coming from Halifax's errors or inability with the last try to defuse the kick. Saltonstall taking it forward again, and eventually WIDNES wrestle him to the ground. Halifax need to conjure up 3 scores, but once again the scoring drought has been a problem. No problem last week, but they can't seem to get in that same vein of form in the second half this week, as Ben Kay gets it to Johnson. Johnson to Grady. Well, another penalty for Halifax. It'll help their course towards the WIDNES line. Morrell's wants to get on with it very quickly. Can Halifax reignite their comeback against this WIDNES side? Once already from 10-0 down, 22-6, a little bit more difficult, but there's an indication of why with the defence from WIDNES on Adam Tangata. Morrell gets the pass away. Whippenall's moved inside. Will Sharp's moved right up into the wing. Halifax have no full-back, they've thrown every man into the attacking line. Can they get some reward with Morrell on his own? Scott Morrell going for the line again, almost made it. Ball out from, ball put down again by Halifax on the WIDNES line. That could have been a turning point. I think it was not sure, Chester Butler perhaps, who couldn't keep hold of the ball as Halifax were desperate to get the points or try and get something. Patrick Arvan put down on the 40-metre line. Araki gets the pass away. Mellor, Harrison looking out wide, and Halifax struggling with a tackle. Fair back left. Well, there's something going on between Shane Grady, Ben Heaton, Chris Anino, and looks like Weller Araki. Well, I'd like to pick the balls out of that one. Well, I wondered why Halifax had no one in defence when the ball came across. And then as he cast your eye across, he saw why. There's 2 men from each side exchanging opinions and blows close to that dugout touchline. Interesting report out of this one, because play was continuing. across the other side of the field. It'll be interesting to see who's being picked out of this one. Ben Heaton being spoken to. I'm guessing it's a Widnes penalty. Well, Shea Grady was involved, Chris Inu, and I think it was Wella Haraki or Patrick Arvan. Inu that's being pulled out. Ben Heaton, no respects of reputations. Experience of Inu with all his grand finals and his World Cup. And still come down to the fact that he gives penalties away as well, so Halifax may have another opportunity as time ebbs away to at least have a bit of a say in this game. Time that remains. Ben Johnson to Brandon Moore, nominated as a Young Player of the Year, of course, this year. Scott Morrell being nominated as the Player of the Year. Interestingly, no Toronto players in that. Although, how can you put players in from a club who've got a playing budget the size bigger than some of most Super League clubs? Fairbank to Morrell, Morrell to Cooper, and Liam Cooper takes Halifax to within 15 metres. Ben Kay uses the short side. Woodburn Hall gets it away to Chester Butler. Butler's mobbed by 3 or 4 Widnes defenders. 3 metres out from the line, last tackle. Ben Kay decides to go on his own. Looks for the tackle in the in-goal area. But with a little kick through, doesn't get it. And Widnes out to the 10. Oh, that's a... Well, it's not a dangerous... Widnes are calling it a dangerous tackle. The carrier slammed on his back to the ground. Halifax in again with another big tackle. Well, that one looked certainly more legal than the first one. The referee seeing it the other way, and Gareth Ewer awarding the penalty to Widnes as Halifax decided to show their defensive teeth in an over-strong manner for Gareth Ewer's liking. Houston tackled. Liam Finn never really going anywhere there. Never looked to be going anywhere. Caught by Cooper. Ball back inside, looking for support. It's gone to ground, and Adam Tangata picks up the pieces for Halifax. And Will Sharp have another go at carrying the ball up to the Widnes defence, but not breaking the line. Saltonstall always around the play the ball. James Saltonstall, another willing carrier for Halifax. Brandon Moore. Ben Kay back to Johnson. Johnson gets it away to Tangata, who bounces off one, but only bounces inside into another defender. He's got and played it quickly. Ben Kay's gone off with another kick towards the fullback Mellor. Can't catch him in the tackle. Mellor starts the counter attack. Halifax just not having the same amount of possession influence as they had in the second half at Ulker last week. Ulker with a scrappy win, defending for their lives when they needed to. And Miller almost giving himself up there and falling easily to the tackle. The ball goes loose. Widnes go back to collect it though. And Halifax drag the carrier towards the touchline. Last tackle. Back to Liam Finn. Comes off Tangata, it's still the last tackle. Finn, well, could have had another kick but decided to run the ball up. It's the last tackle and Finn's gone down with it. Well, he's lost the ball in contact. It's got into Halifax hands where it would have gone anyway. Morrell gets it away to Chester Butler. Saltonstall goes round the blind side, gets it away to Woodburn Hall. Woodburn Hall for the corner, steps inside one. Woodburn Hall just brought down 5 metres out. There's a scrappy play the ball, and that's going to be a Halifax penalty, has it? It has. Runciman deliberately slowing down the play the ball. Halifax looking like they might get into double figures then with Woodburn Hall. It's break. The call from the forward pass from the Widnes supporters. Brandon Moore goes to the Widnes line. Halifax supporters on the feet away to the back of those posts that Halifax are attacking. Morrell to Johnson, Johnson out to Heaton, Heaton to Saltonstall, Saltonstall gets in at the corner. And finally some reward for fluent rugby from Halifax as Saltonstall gets in. Well, the game really over as a competition, but Halifax not playing it that way as they move the ball across the field. Saltonstall managing to get in at the corner. And without Dan Fleming or Shane Grady on the field, it's left to captain Scott Morrell to try and convert from the touchline to cut the lead back to 10 points. Something for the Halifax supporters to sing about while Morrell lines up this shot at goal. That's 40 goals already in his Halifax career as Scott Morrell. Shane Grady down the touchline, maybe try to give him a few tips, I don't know. Ben Heaton, the last man back into the Halifax half. It's not a bad effort from Morrell, it's gone over. And the gap is 10 points again. And have Halifax got anything in them left to cause an upset in the closing minutes? Well, Widnes still not comfortable, still not the most confident. And they're being pushed all the way by Halifax this afternoon. Again, it's just that full-time experience. I think that's, oh, that one, is it going out on the full? No, it's 5 metres in. Will Marr will run it back at the Widnes defence. Good kick return, getting it 15 metres out from the line. Morrell moves into acting half. Misses out, Cooper gives it to Will Sharp. Ben Kate gives it to Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore caught by Howson but gets through the tackle. Howson has to go back again and get him at the second attempt. Brandon Moore looking for the quick play. Morrell looking for sharp inside, maybe he's there just a little bit too late. Johnson gives it to Adam Tangata, and Tangata trying to pick out a gap in the Widnes defence just over halfway, can't find it. Referee signals the last tackle. Morell's kick over the top to fool the defence. Well, was it a knock on? Not according to referee Gareth Hewer. Christian Inu has been given the Widnes Vikings Man of the Match award. Patrick Arvant has decided to come into centre field. Finn gives it to Inu. Ben Heaton doing everything he can to make sure Inu goes down. Francis Cummins has decided to leave a lot of experience out this afternoon. It looks like it's paid for him. There's less experienced players. You know, in Buckley could have had probably 3 tries if he kept hold of the ball. And maybe looking more to these players next season. If he's in fact the coach here next season, now playing in the Championship, he's got to be looking at these younger, more inexperienced players, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be wearing the black and white of Widnes next season. Well, Brandon Moore's ready to play on then. The Widnes pack seem to have a smile on their face for some reason. Brandon Moore out to Saltonstall. He will again be tackled, but 12 metres out from the Halifax line. Trying to run the ball out. Will Sharp is off again. Making 10 metres. Ben Kay to Brandon Moore. Moore tries to find the gap, takes it up to the Halifax 30-metre line. Scott Morell, Saltonstall, out to Chester Butler, and Butler forced towards the touchline and pushed over the touchline. And Liam Finn thinks about the breakaway, but will be brought back. Well, no lack of endeavour from Halifax in an attempt to try and post some more points. But Chester Butler was already on his way towards the touchline. Widnes just helping him over. Inu inevitably finds Ben Heaton in front of him. Tangata, last man up from the tackle. Wella Harake will go down 25 metres out. Liam Finn, well, didn't get caught with the ball that often, Liam Finn, but has done once or twice this afternoon. Sam Wilde for Widnes, brought down 6 metres away. Well, Halifax unable to catch Mellor, and the kick through into the corner is for Patrick Arvant. Halifax with nobody on the outside. The second Patrick Arvant try. It's the icing on the cake for the Widnes Vikings. Despite the spirit this afternoon, Halifax were unable to cause the upset which many thought was possible. hooter sounds, no disgrace for Halifax. Francis Cummins manages to get his first win. Chris and Inu will look for another conversion. He's kicked 3 so far this afternoon. This is a belated kick. Widnes don't look too elated about their win.